we've seen a push recently, especially from Poland, to send a UN peacekeeping mission to Ukraine. That's been rejected so far by most NATO members. But could we see at some point a change of position?
Well, could we? You're asking me, could I rule it out altogether, Charles? No, obviously, and I don't want to be made a fool of by saying he was wrong and then you play the tape back. No, we are very unlikely to see a fundamental shift in that red line right now among the NATO countries. You know the red lines. Yes, a peacekeeping mission is not happening for now. It's not necessarily a red line. It's a softer red line. It's not likely to happen right away, or if at all. Sending fighter jets, is off the table for now as well, for all the reasons we've discussed in the past, that NATO is scared. And I guess that's the word to use, scared and very concerned and fearful that they will be drawn into a conflict that they never sought. A conflict is perhaps too mild a term, that they will be drawn into an all-out war with Russia, an all-out war that they never sought. We have heard Stoltenberg, he's told us on several occasions now that NATO is not a party to this conflict with Russia, does not want to be drawn into this conflict, but will defend every inch of its territory if, by accident or design, a NATO member happens to be attacked. Don't expect the no-fly zones that we heard Zelensky ask for earlier. Don't expect that. That's not to say that there isn't an exceedingly high level of sympathy among almost all of the Western countries and the allies within NATO for the plight of Volodymyr Zelensky. But for the time being, there is no inclination, I guess, out of the prudence of not wanting to be drawn into that broader conflict, because having a no-fly zone would require actually sometimes taking out Russian anti-air defenses inside Russia, as well as preventing Russian planes from entering Ukrainian airspace. You don't have to be a military man, I'm not, to know what the consequences of that might be. The prevention we just heard, I just sort of, trotted out some of Putin's latest lines in his thinking. He's thinking that without NATO taking any action, while NATO is still in its defensive crouch, saying we don't want to be drawn into this conflict. Could you imagine if something happened where Putin could actually have a clear reason and say, hey, look, see what they're doing now, an actual reality, an example to show that NATO is getting involved in this conflict? He wouldn't need any more pretext. He already doesn't need pretext. This is what NATO's concerned about. So we see Putin's thinking, we see NATO's thinking, never the twain shall meet. They are worlds apart right now.